Now this is how I expected the meta to start to look. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more. We're going to be doing the breakdown here for the 7 o'clock Refined Gaming case tournament. And this is actually the one that I got to tear through. Pretty decent showing for this, actually. I was happy to walk with 3.5 boxes of Infinite Forbidden, trying to build play sets of everything from this set just so I could have them. But, you know, I'm out here. Hi, I'm your representative Runic player. Nice to see you all. Hope you're having a good day. Your top cut, outside of me being the one pestering evil duo there, we had two Snake Eyes duelists showcasing the power of how many Fiendsmith cards can we jam into our deck and have it to be a consistent answer. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, all right? You've got your choices. You're able to do a lot of good things. We also had two Tenpai duelists. Wow. I will say I did get the chance to play against one of the Tenpai duelists. Tenpai's runing matchup is not fun at all. It's actually kind of interesting because, you know, that deck's just got to stick one battle phase and they're probably going to win the game. But if they do get that phase to stick, you're probably losing the game. It's a little bit more unfortunate, but there's just that. Second place for this event was actually Rescue Ace, with no Fiendsmith cards, actually. I will say, though, getting the Fiendsmith cards in this deck will actually upgrade this deck's potential, but I still think that Rescue Ace is very underestimated in the current standings out here. Like, this deck does have some pretty stupid room to kind of flush out the competition and just ruin days. And our first place list from the last tournament, the Sprite Special, actually did get the chance to show up back here, which I'm very happy to actually see that, you know, this deck is actually by far one of the coolest things that we could actually see out here. So good stuff to this. Now, let's pass on over so we can see deck list. Hey, look, you've already seen this list on my channel. We've already gone over the intricacies of this, but for the sake of this, just quick little plug-in points here. One Morganite for your consistency. I'm not trying to play more of this. The one Messenger piece, totally techable if you want to cut this and play an extra pod Desires. You can. You have the resource room and abilities to, you know, fix those sorts of ratios. Card Scanner, I think, is one of the best cards that this deck can have. Being able to, you know, soft loop the tips to keep the game going in your favor is always going to be incredibly good. I do want multiple copies of Organism, but unfortunately I just can't find the room to justify it. Maybe over this, but we're just kind of at that point that you're like, huh, you know, also Dimensional Fissures could be quite a useful thing to really consider. But outside of that, this is what I chose to play. I think that Runic is a very stupid deck, and this card is by far one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh cards ever printed. All right, next up here, we have our Rescue Ace duelist. This Regulus really caught me off guard. I was like, huh? You guys play Regulus now? Okay. Well, we had some good power cards. This board, this duelist is also playing triple copies of Twin Twisters. They were effectively massively prepared for a lot of the back row brawls that they would be facing here. Things like enemy controller is going to be good for interrupting and stealing from the opponent. I do see they did choose to play the True Druid's Worm with the one Magna Hut. This deck, I mean, can technically keep up with the sheer amount of BS that you're getting thrown at by the Fiendsmith deck until, you know, you have a Biastia roll on up and just steal game from you. So, the real life story actually unfolding here. And then we have Judgments for your defensive options. Outside of that, I think this deck is pretty good. I want to see what more, though, that this deck can evolve into. Woo! Our first fully explored out how many engines can we shove into this. Actually, my friend here was just like, yeah, we're not gonna do any playtesting. We'll do like a combination of net decking and resources and deciding what we can do here. Only one Black Goat laughs. He said this didn't come up, but the logic with this is, you know, it is an extra free dump target, or if you do need to specifically name drop something so you don't have to deal with the pain in the butt. Personally, I think that this is where the real value is. But outside of that, I mean, there's not really your Snake Eyes deck, the fact you got this down to 42, I think is by far probably one of the more impressive things as well. You know, you can make the argument that there is a lot more to explore. Yeah, sure. There's always going to be more to explore out here. But those are pretty interesting things to think about out here. Outside of that, yeah, looks good to me. We have our first Tenpai list out here. Actually sporting off the triple Raigeki here, so you can actually have the board breakers. I do like this. In every other situation in the meta, this is just free. Stick two Tenpais, you're winning the game. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's gonna do everything you need to do. I do see standard bike steel combinations in here. We are doing the one Dora Dora, which I'm not a huge fan of the one Dora Dora. But I mean, looking at this, like, you don't got room to really cut for anything else. I also do want to play the second Fadra. And I've said that for every one of these videos. I do miss the second Fadra. It lets you play so, we're going to say ignorantly. You can play blissfully with the second copy. We are playing the one Drago. And then, of course, we have all of your standard options down here to kind of clean things up. Vorp Gate instead of Samurai Destroyer. I think this is definitely a lot better post the current state of things. But yeah, everything looks good for this list. Next up here, we have more Tenpai. This build sporting off your triple Book of Eclipse here and being able to have the full options that you need to. Let's call it what it is. You know, your opponent's probably going to have a really hard time dealing with this, especially if you get a full Tenpai truckload coming through here. I swear one of these gives trample. Maybe I'm wrong. We are playing the Koi Belt. We are doing the Samurai Destroyer instead of the Vorp Gate. You do see that we are opting for the Photons in here as well. I believe this duels was a lot more worried about your mirror matches than maybe they should have been. There's nothing wrong with being worried about the mirrors, but let's call it what it is. Having, you know, this just as an oh crap, something's going wrong button, I think was a good call. Outside of that, you've got, I think everything here is pretty much accounted for. All right. I can't really say that I'd mess around with the ratios too much, but okay. Next up here. Ooh. So this was our 1 p.m. list. Nothing has changed, but just to go over it, I did get to see the Eldritch for an extra 3,500 damage, which was oopsie yikes. The Jowgen was a really cool tech choice as well, being able just to kind of clear a full field and then, you know, punish the opponent. Definitely some interesting innovations tonight. We're also playing the Necro Equip for the extra little body to extend if need be, which was good. You also did get the chance to see the Rise to Full Heights. A lot of people are actually exploring this card right now. It was definitely not on my agenda of things to consider, but you know what? Okay. Outside of that, you know, double tracked, I also think is kind of cool. Maximizing on this little card as a one-of is very, very good. I dislike the Nightmare Corruptor Ibley a lot. We're at that point now that you can Ibley lock your opponent and just smile. I love this game. Ooh, a Yubel for you here. Hey, what's Fiendsmith cards? Don't need them, actually. Everything that you need to do with this deck is going to be incredibly straightforward. I do see we have the Dark Rulers, the drop, all the board breakers. We were playing Mind Controls in here to steal stuff from your opponent so that you can do every combo line that you need. I do see that we had the Chaos Summoning Beast with the 2 Dark Beckonings as well. Also, the only 1 Nightmare Pain. That is, to be fair though, you're opting to main deck the Super Polys, so I guess you have to cut something somewhere, right? Like you can't have multiple pains and really expect it. We are doing the Special Summon Trap, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Outside of that, I think ratios are fine here. I mean, you're not dedicating anything crazy to the Fiendsmith stuff. You're just relying on the Super Poly stuff to kind of vacuum up and clean up any of the real interesting problems that I feel like you kind of had left for you here. And then our last list here, ooh, more Fiendsmith. Dedicating the 1-for-1 40 big ones here. Side decking 1 Mulch Army, citing the Nightmare Phoenix in case you need it. The Angel of Blue Tears to go get the your normal trap card of punishment here. I wonder which one of these 2 I'm going to need. Maybe the Black Goat laughs. We're actually playing a Snatch Steal in here as well to punish the opponent. Huh. Nice Necroquip Princess as well. Just the little innovations. That's all that this format is. And I love to see it. So, what do you guys think about everything? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.